Hello. I'm gonna make a Half-Life 2 weapons tier list because I want to. Now the first item on the list is gonna be RPG. Now the RPG, it's high damage, splash damage as well. It can take care of a lot of enemies as well as a lot of strong enemies. But I don't think it's enough to be S tier. You know, you can only shoot one bullet or one rocket at a time. And it's pretty slow, so I'll put it in the A category. Bug bait. You know, hold on a second. Bug bait is good. You know, like, it's not good, but it has an interesting gimmick at the very least. So it's not F tier just because of that, but it's not all too helpful. Besides, like that one chapter where it's introduced, the crowbar. This is probably like one of the most iconic Half-Life weapons in general. Maybe next to the gravity gun. It's a little bit of a time between them. Now I don't think the crowbar is that strong, but it deals a decent amount of damage to not be bad, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. The gravity gun. Now this is like the star of the show. You use it pretty much throughout the entire game. It's got a lot of cool things that you can do. You can throw saw blades at shit and, you know, explode people with explosive barrels. Although, I mean, it's not crazily useful. I don't think it's S tier, so I'll put it in A tier. Now the pistol. Pistol's like the first gun you get, the first actual gun, but it has very low damage, and it's like immediately dropped when you get any other gun in the game. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. The revolver. Now this is like this thing's amazing. It's the pistol, but stronger. Well, not really. That's not exactly an accurate depiction, but it's high damage. It's got 6 bullets, and it's really good. The SMG. The SMG, I mean, I'd consider it pretty much a weaker pulse rifle. It doesn't do that much damage. The fire rate is pretty decent though, and the rockets that it shoots are good, but I'd say not good enough to be A tier. Now the pulse rifle, it's got the plasma ball, their pulse ball or whatever the fuck it's called, which is it's pretty much a better version of the grenade launcher. And it just deals more damage. It's more accurate, better for longer ranges. I'd say A tier. The shotgun. Now, it's a lot better close range, but it does high amounts of damage, even more if you use the right click. So, you know, I'd say that it's an S tier for me. The crossbow, that's a tough one. It's very good long range, like really good long range. It's the sniper of the game. But you can only shoot one at a time. Maybe it struggles with the same thing the rocket does, because the rocket's kind of the same thing, but with splash damage. But the crossbow does reload faster. I'd say I'll put it in A tier as well. The grenade, it's not that good. It's not very usable or versatile. It does damage. It kills things. But there's a huge drawback in the fact that it's a grenade. It doesn't explode on impact. You have to wait for it to blow up. Big delay and everything. So I'm gonna put it on the same tier as the pistol. So now looking through this, I wouldn't really say I'd change much or anything at all actually. No F tier, so I guess creating that was pointless. Let's see the community rank. Let's see what other people thought about it. Okay, so it's pretty similar, except a few differences. The pistol, grenade, and the bug bait are in the same place, same with the SMG. But overall, grav gun and crossbow are S tier, and the crossbow is A tier. So those are the only differences. I can see that, kind of. Yeah, I could understand that. I just don't think that there's enough to push these two in there. I mean, you know what, maybe I'd put the gravity gun at S tier. But no, I think this is good. I think this is good for now. Alright, I'm gonna be moving on to a CSGO Weapons tier list. As you can see here, we have all the CSGO weapons. From the looks of it, all of them. Yeah, that looks like all of them. And yeah, this is a few too many tiers for my taste. So I'm gonna be removing S+ and E. Shit can stay because, you know, maybe like the PP Bison can go in there, and I don't know. We'll get to that. Anyways, for S tier, Let's see. AK-47 is a definitive S tier due to its high damage, accuracy, and range capability, as well as having enough ammunition for any situation you might find yourself in. I think it's a pretty clear S tier. The AUG, now, it has, from what I believe, better accuracy, higher damage, and a longer range in the M4 and M4A1S. So makes it a clear choice, even though it's a little bit more expensive. The AWP. The AWP is another clear S tier due to its insanely long range, and you can one-shot to the body from practically anywhere on the map. Pretty much, it turns CSGO into a point-and-click game. The CZ. CZ's not the worst pistol. Maybe that's like the Glock or something, but it's not a good pistol either. All it's really worth using for is like maybe as a secondary when you have a sniper, and even then still falls behind due to its surprising lack of accuracy and how quickly those 12 bullets vanish, plus only one extra magazine. I'm putting this one in D tier. The Desert Eagle. Now people really like this gun. I agree, it's good. Although I don't know if it's S tier though. It has a high damage, it can one-shot to the head from decent distances, and it has 7 bullets. But a lot of players, especially the unskilled ones, usually just evolve into spamming it until it hopefully gets them a kill. But yeah, no, this is a good gun. It's S tier. The dual Berettas. The dual Berettas are fun. They have 30 bullets in each magazine, and you can kind of just spam it and get a few kills. But I think what you'll find is most pistols just absolutely fail in comparison to any of the rifles, except the Desert Eagle, surprisingly. Although it is a little more difficult to use than the AWP. Anyways, I'm going to put these in B tier. The FAMAS is more of an eco weapon than anything else. It's not that useful, although the burst feature is unique, I suppose. Not many other guns have it, but it's not that helpful. I'll put it in B tier with the dualies. Oh my god, I don't even know what this is. What? We'll get back to that. 5.7. Alright, 5.7. Okay, the 5.7, it's good, right, but it's not that good. It's got like 20 bullets in the magazine, about 40 bullets outside of that. And I don't normally really buy it, although it's better than the Glock. It's better than a lot of other things. I'll put it in B tier as well. The auto, specifically the T-side auto, and there is a big difference. The T-side auto reloads slower. I believe it to be less accurate too, although I may be wrong about that. I know it has a few down. Oh, it takes longer to pull out. No sexual pun intended. Although that wasn't really a sexual pun. Anyways, a lot of people hate this gun, but that's because it's really good. It pretty much turns the game into a point-and-click game. Again. So, although I'm not sure if it's S tier just because of the drawbacks in comparison to the CT side auto, I'll just put it in A tier for now. The Galil. The Galil is also an eco gun, although I believe it to be a little higher damage but less accuracy than the FAMAS. Although I'd say it's just as good in the same general area. You know, they're pointing at each other, so yeah. The Glock. Now this is kind of a pea shooter, to be honest, all things considered. It's not that good. I'd say it's worse than the CZ. It has high ammo, which is especially helpful during the pistol round, but after that it practically becomes obsolete, and switching to your pistol is kind of like signaling your defeat. So I'm switching to the Glock, if I did not say that. I'm going to put this in F tier. The knife. The knife isn't really that helpful in an actual game. You're never really going to use it besides moving faster. Although I don't think that's a positive thing for the knife, because it just happens to have the least weight in the game. It one-shots to the back, and I mean, it's funny to get a kill with. You know what? It lets you move faster, so I guess I can put it a little higher because of that. So I'll put it in C tier. Although the range is definitely an issue. Also, I don't think the Zeus is in here, which is unfortunate. Zeus probably be in the D tier though. Just to clarify. The M4A. I don't even remember, but I know which one this is. This isn't the Gav. This is the other one that nobody buys. Now, this gun is really expensive, but it has 150 bullets, is capable of one-shotting, and is more accurate than you'd expect. It is a dangerous gun, and it can really catch you off guard. But I don't think it's just because of the price, of how exorbitantly expensive it is. You probably wouldn't buy this unless you were already winning, and in which case you wouldn't really need it anyway. So I'm gonna just put it in C tier. The M4A1S. Now, I'm gonna be judging both of these together. They're two peas in a pod. You know, they come together. They are opposites and very alike in the same way. This one has a silencer and has 5 bullets less than the M4A4. It is, from what I believe, more accurate, but deals less damage. Maybe wrong about that. I don't remember. I'm just going based on my memory, though. I'm not going to do any research, because nobody cares about my tier list anyway. So, it's good. It's pretty much the most commonly bought weapon on CT side, so I am going to be putting this on A tier, but it's uncomparable to the AK. Same with the M4A4. Although the extra ammunition might just make it a little better. Although I'd say using the M4A1S is more satisfying. Now the MAC-10 is that weapon you buy when you can't afford a rifle. Although that's most of the SMGs. And it's not that good. Its best usage is probably just running around spamming, because it's pretty good for spraying and praying. Although I'd put this in the B tier. Above the pistols, of course. The Mag-7. I believe this to be one of the higher damaging shotguns. Maybe tied with the sawed-off. But it doesn't have too much ammo. And it's not that capable from what I've seen. So I'm going to put this in C tier. The MP5, it's higher accuracy, higher damage in the MAC-10. And I think ammo is about the same. So I do think it's better than the MAC-10 by a bit, but it's not A tier by any means. The MP7. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't use SMGs too often. I don't really use the MP7 that often at all either. So please take this rating with a grain of salt. I can't give too many in-depth specifics or details on the SMG, on the MP7, because I don't normally use it, right? But I see that it's got better accuracy for the most part. It's not as much spray and pray. A little more skill required. Same with the MP9, although a little less accuracy from what I've seen. I'm just going to shove it in B tier as well. The Negev. Now, the Negev used to be a powerhouse similar to the M249, but it was changed recently to be more of an area denial weapon. So in that sense, it's useful for what it's supposed to do. But I just don't think anyone in the level I'm at in this game would use it like that. Although, no, that's wrong. People do use it like that. So pretty much the intended use, at least now, is more to spam down a long corridor and deny enemies access, because peeking out would risk death almost immediately. It gets more accurate the longer you shoot, so it is pretty much made to be held down, aimed down a long corridor. So I'm going to put this in B tier as well. B tier is going to be pretty full by the end of this, isn't it? The Nova. Now, I'd say the Nova is definitely better than the Mag-7, and it's been compared to a sniper in some cases, although it's got good accuracy. It's surprisingly good accuracy and longer range than you'd expect. Like, you can get some kills from pretty far away with this thing. So I'm going to be putting this one in B tier. The P250 is probably one of my favorite pistols, because it's cheap, only 250, and it's a lot better than the starter pistols. Although, I'm pretty sure they did nerf it to where it can't one-shot enemies with armor now, so that's definitely a big demerit. It's not A tier. So I'm going to be putting this one in B tier as well. P2000? Yes, P2000. Or is this the USPS? There's no silencer. I don't even think there's been a USP. There it is, I'm blind. Okay, yeah, this is the P2000 then. Now the P2000 trades out a little bit of accuracy for an extra bullet, from what I remember. That's pretty much its only difference, is that it has an extra bullet in the magazine. Although I'm not sure about the drawbacks. I'll just put this one in B tier as well. Well, yeah, it's not on the same level as the other pistols. Yeah. The P90. Now, the P90 is very well known for its spray and pray ability. Because you can just kind of run around shooting all over the place and people will die. It has a lot more ammo than the other ones, and it's the most expensive SMG at 2,350, unless they changed it. I might be wrong, I haven't played CSGO in a while. So, I wouldn't put this in A. I mean, I don't think it's good enough to be A, though, if I'm being honest here. I'll put it in A. The R8 revolver. The R8 isn't as good as the Deagle, of course, but it's good. It's got its benefits. On release, it was probably one of the most overpowered weapons to be released to CSGO due to the fact that it could one-shot the body. But that was changed very quickly because that was just absolutely broken. And now 2 shots to the body and 1 shots to the head from pretty long ranges. I'm pretty sure it's more accurate and longer range than the Deagle, but the big downside is that left click, you have to hold the button for a second for it to shoot. It's like actually about a second that you have to hold it for the gun to actually release any bullets. So that's why it's definitely not going in S tier. And I don't even believe it to be A tier. I'll put it A tier. And in fact, I think I'm going to lower the Desert Eagle to A tier as well. Yeah, for now, I'll keep it there. The sawed-off shotgun. Now, I used to use this weapon quite a bit, but if you use this weapon, you have to realize at a certain point that it's not as good as some of the other shotguns. It's about on the same level as the Mag 7, I'd say. So I'm going to put it here in C tier. The CT side auto, and yes, I completely forgot the name, is probably one of the best weapons in the game. People give it a lot of shit, but that's because it's good. It is insane. This gun's insane. It's not as good as the AWP. Maybe not even as good as the AK. But it can be. The Scout. Which is not what it's called now, but that's what I'm calling it. The Scout is pretty good. It's a fun weapon to use, especially when you're trying to jump scout. I'd say it's A tier, definitely. Because it's capable of dealing high damage. And it's pretty accurate. You can run while holding it and probably still hit a shot. Next up is the SG. Now the SG is surprisingly actually better than the AK-47, although it's not as iconic, and I almost want to lower it. But I'm going against that. I'm objectively thinking that because it's more accurate, deals higher damage. And although maybe it reloads a little bit slower, probably a little slower in general, it's better. It's capable of dealing more damage. The scope is a plus, although not many people would use it. The Tech 9. The Tech 9 used to be a spray and pray type pistol, but it was changed to be very accurate first shot. And it kind of changed from there, because you could just run, click on somebody's head, and it would shoot their head. It was changed to become very accurate, and although not on the same level as some of these pistols, it's definitely over here in B tier. Place it nice and snugly right there. The UMP! This is one of my favorite SMGs, because it's like a pocket rifle, you know? No, that's this thing. But the UMP is still very good. I'd put it here in A tier as well, with its brother, the P90. And this is what the fuck is this? The unsilenced USP. There's not much of a difference other than this sounds absolutely disgusting, so I'm putting it shit. what happened to the color? Okay. The USPS. This is the CT side starter pistol, and it's a good pistol. Definitely better than this thing. But I wouldn't call it A tier. It's good for when you have it. It's nothing crazy. Put it here. And the XM, the last weapon on the list. Now the XM is pretty good. It's not as accurate or high damaging as some of the other shotguns on the list, but because of its spam ability, you can just kind of, you know, go, and it'll do its job pretty well. I'm gonna put this one in A tier. And yep, this looks like it's the entire tier list. Can't actually, you know what, hold on. Okay, here, I need to screenshot this for my savings. Okay. Let's see what the community rank is. Let's see what other people say about it. So, the AWP is placed in S+. Oh yeah, there was some tiers that I didn't use in this one. I did end up making mine a little bit messier, as you can see. The AUG is down here. Oh, people think that the M41S is worse than the M44. And the SG's here. I wonder why. Maybe I'm wrong about it being better, but I remember it. I'm pretty sure it's a lot better. Deagle's down here. Yeah, understandable. Mac 10 is here. The auto's here. Surprising. Well, people do give it a lot of shit. I understand the T-side auto being down there at D tier. Oh, people don't really like the scout. Where did I even put the scout? Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know why the P2000 is so low. It's, from my beliefs, the same thing as the USPS with an extra bullet and a little bit less accuracy. Because people just don't really like it that much as a gun itself. Oh, the R8's shit, apparently. Maybe A tier is not a good spot for it, thinking about it a little bit more. I'll keep it there. Although, yeah, I did lower the Deagle to A tier. I don't think the R8's as good as it. I don't think it deserves to be on the same tier. So I will put it down here with the other pistols. Deagle's a special type of pistol. Okay. Well, that's it for this tier list. And for what I do believe to be the last tier list of the day, I'm going to be doing a TF2 classes tier list. Now, Demo Man. Demo Man is a pretty strong class. It's capable of doing high damage outputs, especially if you're able to hit enemies mid-air with your pellets. It's definitely not called pellets. Your grenades. But there's definitely not gonna be anything in F tier. It's good. It's got the Demo Knight subclass, which is a pretty fun touch to it. I don't believe it to be S tier though. Engineer is incredibly strong, and it's difficult to take out a good engineer nest unless you have a spy. But even then, it can be somewhat difficult. So an uber-charged medic. An uber-charge is probably the best way to go about that. But anyways, this is definitely an S tier. The engineer just has unrivaled power in area denial and area takeover and stuff like that, and controlling points. Heavy. Heavy is a good class. Although, personally, I don't find it to be that fun. As well as I don't think it's S-tier worthy. Now, I'm not trying to rate this on fun, though, because Engineer is, like, the least fun class in the game, unless you're playing it differently. Because you just kind of sit there in your nest, just waiting for things to happen. So, Heavy is a tank, by all means. It's built to take damage and dish it out just as well. But I don't know, it could be taken down quite easily. I'm putting it at the B tier. That made no sense. Ignore what I said about it being taken down easily. Although the time to kill isn't that short in this game. But it will help having a heavy. The medic. The medic is like the holy grail of support. It heals. It can make you invincible or deal crits or all sorts of things. Especially with the crossbow that I forgot the name of because I haven't played TF2 in a while. It's really good. So this is a definitive S tier for me. Pyro. People tend to dislike Pyro because the M1, fucking WM1, that shit. People tend to think that others just hold down W and hold left click, which I mean is an effective way to play the class. But Pyro can be really strong. I don't think any of them are that weak in this game. So a few things are gonna be personal preference, like the heavy being B tier. I just don't really like the heavy that much. But the pyro. Now the pyro's fun. Pyro is capable of dealing a lot of damage, and it kind of just counters the demo man and the soldier, and I mean even the sniper with huntsman and the medic with the crossbow. So I'm putting this in A tier. Could be S tier because of its high damage output, but no. The scout, the highest mobility class, one of my favorite classes in the game, and it can deal a really high amount of damage. It's sort of like a glass cannon though, due to its low amount of health, but high damage capabilities. But it's good. It has a double jump. Obviously, the mobility aspect is a little accentuated because of that. I'm not sure about S tier. It's good, but it's not. I mean, a good scout can do a lot, but I'm gonna keep this in A tier. The sniper. Okay, the sniper is considered to be one of the more broken classes in the game because if you have anybody who's a god at aim, they can pick this thing up, and within a few milliseconds of scoping in, you're already dead. You turn that corner, dead, gone. What? You were even there? Now, obviously, this is a special case in the cases of skill ceilings. Like, the skill ceiling for the sniper is in a different universe. It's in a completely different realm. If you master the sniper, no one can survive you. So this is a definite S tier. But a lot of people are nowhere near that level, including myself. The soldier. The soldier, it's also actually high mobility because of the rocket jumping. And it's very strong in terms of damage, and you can kind of kill people around the corner without even looking at them. So I'm going to be putting this one in S tier as well. The spy. Spy is the most unique class in the game in terms of its abilities. It can use its sapper to take down engineers' buildings. It can disguise as the enemy team. It can go invisible. It is an all-around fun class with very unique gimmicks that are very interesting and fun to use. And the overall strength is very high. It's a similar skill ceiling to the sniper, but just not as high, because if you're good at juking your opponents out, if you're good at sidestepping them and backstabbing them, this is a very strong class. But it's kind of just like the sniper, but with less range. That's what makes the skill ceiling not as close to the sniper. But it's definitely a fun class. It's very powerful. I think it's S tier because it can disguise and go invisible. It counters the engineer, and it's just all around fun. All right. So this is my tier list for the classes in TF2. Now, I might switch a few things around here and there, but I haven't played TF2 recently enough to make any of those changes right now. Let's see what the community thinks. Oh wow. This is surprising. Scout and Demo Man are S tier. I mean, to be honest, the classes in this game are all very good. Sniper and Spy are C tier? Okay, that's surprising to me. Because Sniper can be insanely powerful. Sniper's probably more of a glass cannon than the Scout is, actually. Sniper is insanely powerful, and Pyro, I couldn't even begin to think why that's in D tier. No idea why that's there. But yeah. Anyways, that's my tier lists of the day. This is tier list Sunday. Everyone, yeah. That was loud. Okay, I'm gonna stop before I look even more like an idiot. Let me know what you thought of my tier list today in the comments below. I hope to see you in my next video.